So it's not necessarily unusual to close the order book early, but what does this really tell us about demand?
It really tells us that the demand is very strong. So it's right now 10 times and the orders are still coming. So it takes a bit of time to actually kind of like gather all the information and for them to actually allocate. And also like closing it early is really just telling the investors, hey, get your act together. Send in the order before it's too late.
There's been so much back and forth when it comes to pricing. Do we know the latest on how they're leaning?
So right now we're still not exactly sure. There's still a lot of moving parts to it. The orders have still to come in. Right now it's 10 times subscribed. But then, so it's very likely that it's going to price at the top end of the range or even move above the range. So there are earlier discussions about moving the range altogether, shifted upwards. But at the moment, it's still kind of in consideration depending on like how things close like today, and also like right now Nvidia, which is like a benchmark, some people are kind of benchmarking ARM against, has actually fallen by 7% over the last few sessions. So there is still a lot of like jitteriness as to what to price and where to price it, and to see whether it's going to boil for the aftermarket.
Yeah, I was going to say, we have seen that anxiety in the markets right now. Is this a good time to come to market?
There is no good or bad time. At the end of the day, it really boils down to the pricing, right? And at the moment, it's still strong. So, like, do people actually really care about like whether they're going to lose on like several dollars on a share? Because after all, SoftBank is only selling 10% of ARM. So if the aftermarket is good, and then the high tide rises all boats, essentially. So the 90% that SoftBank still holds is going to worth a lot more.